Hey there, this is Beth, and we're talking art supplies. This is my top 5 art supplies of 2022. So this is in no particular order, but it kind of is because I'm starting with the stuff that rolls around really much. And those are the polychromos. I love these colored pencils so much. It started with this one. I bought one in, don't have my glasses on, in a greeny color. And I really like it. I really, really loved it in a way that I have loved no other colored pencil before. The closest is the Derwent Color Soft. And these are very, this has kind of more of a pastel-y, excuse me, texture. It's a little more chalky. I do love the Derwent Color Softs a lot too, but the Polychromo I really loved. And so I bought this one, and then I bought all these. I looked at a set, but a lot of times what happens with sets is you buy them, and then you're like, don't use a good portion of the colors. So I just decided to go with colors I know I'm going to use, and that's partly because I'm using them on faces. So I got a lot of, kind of nude browns. This green is really great for doing shadows. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, then some blues and pinks, because there's, your face is not just one color. Your skin tone is not one color, and there's some light skin tones. There's some browns that can be used for darker skin tones, lips, whatever. So I just started with these, picked out a bunch that I thought I'd use, and ordered them in my last haul, which there is a haul of that Blick order, and it's the one I got the polychromos in. If I remember, I will link it. If I don't, you'll know, because it won't be there. So polychromos, I really, really, really love them quite a bit. And I haven't bought a new brush in a really long time, and this is a watercolor brush. Excuse me. Of course, I get all as I start filming. I hadn't bought a brush in a while, and I always wanted a quill brush. Closest I have is this other brush, this one, which I really like too. Both are Neptune, if I remember. Yep, Neptune by Princeton. This one's also Princeton. I love this quill brush. It's a number 4, if you're wondering what size it is. And I find sizing is just wild in the brush world, because like someone's 4 can be like, here's their 4, and someone else's 4 is like huge. So, but this is Princeton Neptune. I have a lot of Princeton brushes, both watercolor and I don't have a lot of watercolors. The ones I've bought and have not received via subscription service tend to be Princeton for watercolor. And I really like the Neptune, and the Velvet Touch is another favorite for watercolor. And most of my acrylic brushes that I have bought have been Catalyst by Princeton. So I tend to buy their brand a lot. They hold up. I have Princeton watercolor brushes from the 90s. I don't think I have any acrylic brushes from the 90s that are Princeton. Or do I? No, I think your Winsor Newton. Yeah, this is the giant one is Winsor Newton. But yeah, I like Princeton brush. I love this quilt. It's just beautiful. It does really beautiful work, and I love it. I'll show you a painting that it got eased on in just a little bit, because one of the favorites is a paper. So we're going to continue on with things that are on the desk. I have really come to like the Liquitex acrylic gouache. Let's see if we can get that. It's medium bodied. It's opaque. I don't have a lot of colors, but I plan on acquiring a few more. I think I have a gray in it, but I'm not sure where I put it. It's somewhere. But yeah, I use blues a lot. In this color, I decided to buy a color that I would not normally buy in. I got a peach, because typically not a color. And I really like this color. It's opaque. They're really nice. I like the texture. They're creamy medium bodies. Colors are lovely. They go on nice. They have these lovely nozzles. I like, I'll just leave that little paint glob on top. You can see, so you can write with them, you can dot with them, and you can just splooge out paint with them. So that makes it really nice. And as Liquitex likes to point out, they are stackable. I won't go more than 2, though. At least on unstable surface. My board protects my wood is kind of work. But yeah, I find myself reaching for these quite a bit, especially in the context of art journaling. They're a great product. I'm not sure what makes them. I guess the opacity is what makes them an acrylic gouache. Not all acrylics are opaque. Some are very translucent, such as like Golden's White. I hate Golden's White because it's translucent. So translucent. Yeah. But I really like these. They're opaque. If you want to cover something up, if you have something going on somewhere. And yes, I have 3 blues because I got this one in a Art Snacks box, if I remember correctly, and that's how I discovered them. But I really enjoy them. I plan on getting more. Next up is another paint, and this is Blick Artist Acrylic, and it's the white. Specifically the white. I bought more of their paint, and from their low level one to the artist grade. I like Blick's paint overall. I have like I said, a bunch out of 1, 2, at least I probably got 4 or 5 studios. And this is artist one. I like this white. It's very nice and white. It's titanium white. It's not opaque, not transparent like the Golden's is. I like this white. It's nice, opaque. It goes on well. It has a buttery, heavy body consistency, and I do mean buttery. It's a lovely paint. I love this white. This is the second white of theirs that I've bought. And pretty much I'm kind of like, whatever, it's white. Except for the Golden, which I find too transparent for what I'm doing. And on the days you need a white to cover something up, the Golden doesn't do it, even with layering. This one will cover it up, and if you use it thinly enough, it's fine. It doesn't come off chalky in a face or anything like that. I really like this white. It's my white of choice. It's a really basic thing, but sometimes really basic things when you're doing painting are what's going to make you really super happy, because they're basic and you're using them all the time. And if you're not enjoying it and you feel frustrated by your paint, that's not a fun feeling, and it makes painting not so fun. It also makes painting harder if the paint is not performing the way you want it to. This performs the way I want it to. And you know, if I ever need a translucent white, I got myself a golden open white that I can use. Or I'll also oftentimes buy a tube of the Liquitex Basic White, which is opaque, but has not as opaque as the Blick Artist White. And you can get transparent layers with that for a lot less money. I really like Golden paints overall. I hate their white. It just doesn't work for me, so I don't use it. And you can love a line and hate like one aspect of it. It's so transparent. This is not transparent. It does what I need it to do. It's a good workhorse. It's nice and bright. It's a lovely white. And like I said, I'm on my second, what is this? 8 ounce. Where's the ounces? Dick Blick, where's my ounces? Dick Blick doesn't want to tell me my answers. Made in the USA, which is another thing I tend to look for. PW White. It's a 6 or an 8. Yeah, I think this is 8 ounces. That's where they don't tell you the. I just found it. 8 ounces. So yeah. Okay, let me grab the painting and I'll be right back. Okay, the final thing is some paper. I've been looking for a watercolor paper I really, really like that's not Canson XL, and I find I'm really liking the Stonehenge by Legion. I really like this stuff. I got a cold press in, it's 11 by 15 or 11 by 14, and then 12 by 12 in hot press, which is just a dream. Because there are times I want really smooth paper, and there are times I want some texture. And I wanted to try both. I haven't done a watercolor of this one yet, but I have the hot press. And let me tell you, I love these papers. I like how it moves around, because you're never really sure about a paper. I've had samples of it. It's just beautiful paper. These are blocks. They come in blocks, so. Except for my blocks haven't fallen apart yet. Yeah, that's a whole nother video. There's going to be there's a paper review. I don't know if it comes out before this one or after this one. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, I just I mean, I believe people when they're like say they loved a paper and they loved how it worked, but I had never personally experienced this joy until now. And when I sat down to do her, I really like how she came out. I like how the watercolors went on the paper. And this is day 91 and 92 of the 100-day project. And I wanted to just play around and be loose and free and see what happens. And I really like how the paint went down. I like how the colored pencils went on this hot press paper. I just, when I was painting this, I'm just like, oh my God, this is so enjoyable compared, well, not that the other papers weren't enjoyable, the process of painting, it was just not as like joyful. This just, I really loved how it all went down. And prior to this, I've never experienced that with a paper. Yeah, the Fabriano was a disappointment. And I'll talk about that in the paper review, which I don't have my schedule, so I don't know where it's coming before or after this one in the month of December. So yeah, that is my top 5. I got the polychromos. It's just, these are really nice, and if you're using, especially in the context of, this has the polychromos in it, in watercolor, because that's, I'm mainly using them as a mixed media tool. I'm not using them as like drawing colored pencil stuff. It's not what I do. But in terms of watercolor and in terms of mixed media painting, because even my watercolors are mixed media, frankly, they are not pure watercolor. I really like these. I like how they go on, the colors, just love them. The brush, the quill number 4. I love you. This is what this was done with. Mainly, maybe a little smaller brush in the eye and nose area, because it can get a little tricky. This is just, I love this brush. The gouache, acrylic gouache by Liquitex, really fun to paint with. Dick Bricks white, and gotta reach down. Legion Stonehenge. This is they're 140 pound. If you like your watercolor paints to sit on top of the paper for a little while before they get sucked in, you'll like this. If you like paper that sucks up color really quickly, you probably won't like this. I really enjoyed it so much. And that is my favorite art supplies for 2022. Everyone go out there, have a wonderful day, and be the love in the world.